you. What do you think? All right, here we go. Woo! What a world, what a world. Let me get my earpiece in. Sorry about the lateness, people. I love you guys. Oh, my God. I was at the office, had to switch up real quick. Let me make sure my... 1 second. Let me get my earpiece in position. And I'm going to be good. Cool. Cool, 1 second. All right, here we go. All right, we are set up. All right, let's have a conversation. Let's talk about what's going on in the market. People, you guys already know who it is. Your boy Bobby from Mentourme.com. The goal is people to always educate you and teach you financially how to win in this world. As you guys can see, this market is down. And again, there's a lot of different perspectives on playing this market. Some people feel don't play it. Some people feel it's a great opportunity. Some people feel the market has a lot more to go down. So my thing is tonight I'm going to first talk about, what's causing the market to be in a position that it's in. If you have any questions, feel free to put your comments below, your questions below. And the goal is to really have you guys get a better understanding of what's going on and how long this probably will be going on. Last year, again, we automatically knew once we switched presidents, we knew things was going to change. Because again, new rules, new regulations, things going to be completely different. But now here's the problem. We first got to understand inflation, right? We got to also understand when we're talking about inflation, we're talking about our purchasing power. Think about how the economy is running right now. We have an economy, okay, that has a big supply issue, a big supply shortage, a high demand issue. There's a lot of quantitative easing, meaning there's a lot of dollars in the economy. And then when you continuously put dollars in the economy, there's only one way that the market can go, especially with low interest rates. It only could go down. A lot of us have this misperception that we believe is if everybody could be rich, this world would be a better place. The truth is the macroeconomy doesn't work like that. The truth is you have to understand how economics work. The more money there's in the economy, the more supply of dollars there is, the more the dollar devalues itself. The problem is right now we have such a weak dollar, okay? When we say weak dollar, it's taking so many dollars to buy the same thing that we was once buying. The problem with this is right now, in order to fix the issue to a certain degree and stabilize the market, we actually have to increase interest rates. Jerome Powell, which is the federal chairman of the United States, also has to, of course, pull back buying bonds. He needs to start selling bonds, okay, instead of buying bonds. And what this is essentially going to do is going to readjust the market and stabilize it a little bit. And then eventually the market's going to you're going to start to see the real form of the market. What you guys got to realize is tonight we're talking about the stock market, what's happening, why is it down, what's some great stock picks. This is, of course, educational information. This is not financial advice. As you guys know, I'm an entrepreneur, investor, stock trader, been trading and investing in the stock market world for almost, I would say maybe 10 years. And again, maybe 11 years when you really think about it. And the first, I would say 4 to 5 years investing and trading in the market, I've made a lot of mistakes. I didn't know what I was doing because nobody really taught me how to invest or trading in the market. I had to really learn and understand how to really play the game and started creating a big level of wealth for myself. So tonight, I'm getting a lot of DMs, like people are asking, like, how do you play this market? What's going on? How do you win financially? First, you got to understand, based on what type of investor you are, you really have to take time to understand that. We know that inflation is hitting the economy. We know inflation simply means your purchasing power has reduced, okay? It's costing you more money to buy certain things. And this happens because of bond yields, treasury bonds, when we have an individual trying to hold up the economy due to having low interest rates. Now, a lot of you think mentally, as long as interest rates are low, you're always going to win. It doesn't naturally work like that. The lower the interest rates are, the harder it will be for us to have a strong economy. So what's happening right now, we got to really think about it. We have a lot of different variables. One is inflation. 2, we have low interest rates. Interest rates need to go, they need to go up. By theory, by March, we should be raising at least 50 basis points. That will still not solve the problem. It actually has to go a little bit higher than that. We need to raise at least 3 to 4 times before we can see a true adjustment and a true stabilization in the economy. People right now, you never really looked at it like this, but again, economics really play a big role when you're investing into the stock market. A lot of people don't talk about it. They just simply make it seem like just buy stocks through Robinhood and you're going to be super successful. I want you guys to understand right now, some stocks, don't get me wrong, they're almost at an 80 to 90% discount. But the question is, if you're going to even buy any stocks, you have to ask yourself a question. Are you a short-term trader or are you a long-term investor? If you believe that these stocks are going to go back up, what's the bad part about buying some of these stocks and holding them for the next 3 to 7 years? You're going to make a lot of money if you essentially do that. But I don't think a lot of people really understand the dynamics of what's going on. If you were already in the stock market from last year, if you have extra funds, you should be doubling down, because some of these stocks went from 30 to 3, from 90 to 20, from 170 to literally $40. If you have extra dollars, you should be doubling down, meaning you're averaging out your price. Let me explain to you what that means, okay? Hypothetically, you bought a stock at $20. Then that stock 1 year later goes to $5 for whatever reason. If you bought the stock at 20, then you buy it again at 5, the same amount of shares, you now have what? A total of $25. You divide that by 2 to get an average. So now you have the stock, instead of at 20, you have it at $12.50. This is a great way to play the market. So as the stock goes back up from $5, it reached $12.50 or 12, well, actually 13, you're already profitable compared to waiting till, of course, $20. Because a lot of you don't realize right now, for a lot of you, the stock market it's kind of like saying it's a blowout deal right now. It's a blowout sell in the stock market. But now the question is, when does it stop? When does the bleeding stop? First and foremost, I want you guys to understand one of the reasons that the stock market is down is inflation. The second reason why the stock market is down is because interest rates are too low. A lot of you love interest rates low because why? By theory, you got lenders telling you, well, if it's a great time to buy a home because your mortgage is going to be cheap. But if you look at the real estate market as a whole, the real estate market is super duper expensive. You're paying the worst prices for a home. So realistically, you're not really winning. You're winning based on the fact that you have a low payment, but what you're paying for the price, you're actually going to lose, because if you take the payment that you're paying per month times 12 months times 30 years, you're probably paying 2-3 times the price of the home. And a lot of us are not really paying attention to that because we're letting people in social media make it seem like the best thing for you is to do what? Buy a home right now. So number one of the reasons why the market is down is inflation. Number two, why the market is down is, of course, low interest rates. Low interest rates is not good for the economy. Number three, we have, of course, Ukraine and Russia having war. What is the problem with that? The problem with this is the United States has to step in. And when the Pentagon has to step in, which is pretty much our defense base, the Pentagon is just simply the people who stand up for us. When the Pentagon has to step in and make sure that we're protected, that means what? At the end of the day, just like how you guys have a bank account, the United States of America has a bank account. So what does that mean? We have to go buy guns. We have to go buy ammunition. We have to go get soldiers. We have to put ourselves in a position of protection and assistance if we work alliance with different countries. So this is another reason why the market is down. I want you guys to also understand another reason why the market is down is why. We got to really pay attention to the COVID baloney that's being thrown on TV. Here's how I look at it. This is just my personal opinion. At a certain point of life, we're going to live with COVID. Okay. This is very straightforward. I don't understand how is people still making a big deal out of COVID right now? At the end of the day, we're going to live with COVID, and how I really look at it, just like how some people take a flu shot, you're going to now take a flu shot or probably another shot that has COVID in it. And we're going to eventually just live with COVID. At the end of the day, to a certain degree, this thing is similar to a flu. So I don't understand why does TV put so much emphasis on different variances of COVID when at the end of the day, we're going to just live with it. COVID is not just going to disappear, people. You got to really think about this, and I really want you guys to think about this, because this is one of the reasons why the stock market is down drastically. Because again, TV is pushing so much COVID news on these infomercials on TV. So what it's doing is putting fear. Oh my God, people are scared to go to work. People are scared. At the end of the day, then here's what happens. You have a president who's, oh my God, people don't want to go to work. Let me try to fix this problem by continuously giving money to them, giving free money, not realizing the money has to come from somewhere. when you continuously print money, or when you continuously do what we call quantitative easing, putting money back into the economy, it devalues the dollar. And a lot of people may not understand it, but this is a big problem of what's going on right now. People, if you don't realize it by now, at the end of the day, we're living with COVID. Okay? We're going to live with COVID. As long as you have probably taken the shot, or as long as you have your immune system strong, you'll be fine. That's how simple it's going to be. There's going to be so many different variances, it's never going to stop. And you got to really think about this, okay? Do you guys really believe, you think Pfizer, Moderna, these pharmaceutical companies are really trying to make cures? You really think they want to cure you? They're a multi-billion-dollar industry. Their goal is to continuously make medicine. Their goal is to continuously be profitable for shareholders. So they're going to continuously do whatever it takes for them to keep putting money in their pocket. That's why they gave the first shot. They gave the second shot. Now they're playing booster games. Oh, you need a booster. Oh, you're going to need it. They're not going to stop. Oh, your kids need a vaccine. Oh, they need a second one. Oh, they need a third one. Oh, they now need they need a booster. Because at the end of the day, what would you do if you own a company? Really think about that for a moment, okay? If you own a company, okay, and you're able to get billions of dollars per month, okay, from the government, if you continuously give us a vaccine that by theory will hold us and keep us alive, why would you have a cure? It's just like when you look at like HIV, why would you have a cure and give it in one dosage to a person? Really think of, somebody asked me this the other day, if they had the cure for HIV, would they give it? There's a theory, a lot of people believe there's a conspiracy that Cuba has the first cure for HIV. The question is, if the cure is there, even if it came to the United States, do you really think these multi-billionaires would actually give you the cure in one dosage? And would you think it would be affordable? At the end of the day, it would not. They would have to give it in streams, in stages, just like chemo. This is how the game is played. People, we're in a capitalistic country where everything is about the dollar. It's not about what you think it is. It's not about making sure the humans are okay. I've witnessed on TV, I'm not ever going to say the station, where the CEO, they asked him, why is your particular pharmaceutical product so expensive? You know what he said? Well, at the end of the day, I could cut costs, but my shareholders don't care to build another facility so we could cut those costs. So again, that's not our preference in this particular situation. What they're telling you is, we don't give a damn if you guys are dying. We just want to make sure we're profitable and we're reaching the bottom dollar quotas that we need to reach. I want you guys to understand that, because we still have a lot of individuals feeling that eventually COVID's going to be gone. It's not. So we all know now, COVID is one of the issues why the stock market is down. Now, some of you may even ask, why is the crypto market down? If it's so decentralized, why is the crypto market down if it's so decentralized? But again, it has to run off something. It's tethered by the dollar. So again, the dollar is a big issue in this particular situation. So of course, both markets are tanking. Now, when you look at the opportunities, again, I'm going to talk about several stocks and several cryptos today. You got to really ask yourself, which one is a great buy? Which one would I buy? You know, is it a great time to buy? We all know tomorrow, this is a big day tomorrow. Jerome Powell, our federal chairman of the United States, is speaking at 2:00. Based on what this individual says, and again, interest rates are not going up by theory until March. But based on how he responds tomorrow at 2 p.m., this market could go another 20% below where it's currently at. This guy is a very powerful guy, and anybody else in my stock trading room, I always explain to you guys, there's a person that's just as powerful as the president, probably even more powerful, and that's the federal chairman of the United States of America. Because this is the team of people who control interest rates. And Jerome Powell sits on that seat today. Now, I want you guys to understand, tomorrow also has a special event after 4:00. Tesla, ticker TSLA, their earnings is after 4 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. And you're talking about a stock who just dropped maybe, $300, which is not really a a car company only. It's also an information company. It's also a data company to a certain degree. The company has a lot of different dynamics in it. A space company. Shouts out to SpaceX. I want you guys to understand, based on how that stock earning go after 4 o'clock. If it tanks, remember, everything is, and when you look at like the S&P 500, NASDAQ, these things are based on weights. How big of a company could, if it's so heavy based on how much it weights in the market, do you understand? If Tesla has bad earnings tomorrow, that's another reason the market's going to pull back. You guys got to understand, economy and economics play a big role in trading and investing to the stock market. Today, I thought I'd share several reasons why the market is down. Inflation. Jerome Powell needs to sell treasury bonds and stop, of course, quantitative easing from our president. We also want to understand interest rates need to go up because they're too low. Now, I want you guys to also understand. Somebody said Evans was popping. He says there's another important date. Another date to remember is March 15th and March 16th. Evans, can you clarify? Put your comments below. What is that date about before I really start talking about certain stocks? March 15th and March 16th. What's going on that date that people need to be aware about, Evans? I want you guys to know, when you're looking at the economy and looking at this market, the question I know a lot of you are asking yourself, is it a buying opportunity? Should you buy tomorrow? Should you buy this week? Should you maybe buy next month before the interest rates go up? Should you buy after the interest rates because it might actually tank even harder? See, these are unknown questions. Here's what I would do. If you're not in the market and you were about to spend, I'm going to hypothetically say $5,000. I would probably spend $1,500. I like to be diversified, simply meaning I don't like to put all my money into one stock. I like to have different stocks in different sectors. So maybe having a stock like FCell, which is clean energy. Maybe a stock like Nakila, which is an electrical vehicle stock. Maybe having another stock like which is a crazy stock that tanked so drastically. This stock, when I say this might drive you crazy, this stock went from $160 to $28. Another stock to really pay attention, maybe Peloton. Peloton is down almost 90%. Is it true to believe that there could be a bounce? And the bounce, if you could hold, maybe a year or 2 years from now, this stock could come back to $100. Because now they're going to revamp their system, readjust their prices, which they have done. Of course, they just got a lawsuit. They're going through a lot of things. But when there's a lot of pressure on you like that, what happens is you start to readjust your foundation and the structure of your business and build a stronger company. I want you guys to understand. Oh, Evans just posted. Oh, okay. So the dates that the interest rates might actually go up is actually March 15th to March 16th. The question is, should we buy stocks now? Should we buy before it goes up? Should we buy after it goes up? Here's how I would play it. I would recommend if you're spending $5,000, buying increments. Buy maybe $1,000 or $1,500 today. But make sure you're diversified into different sectors. Don't just buy $1,500 in one stock. Because there is so many stocks that's at all-time lows. People, we could name them forever. I have so many. Ford is down. Not at all-time lows, but Robinhood. Let me talk about that ticker for a moment. Robinhood, ticker HOOD, was at $65, $69. Now the stock is at $12. Peloton was at $158, is now at $27. People really pay attention. And a lot of you love some of these meme stocks. Guess what? Remember AMC? Remember AMC was at maybe 60 something bucks? Guess what? It's back to $17 or $15. I actually put an alert. If it goes to $2, I'll buy some shares. Let me get some comments before I continue. I would like to invest into SoFi. Yes, you are correct. And I was just about to talk about that. Ticker SOFE, SoFi is a great interest rate play compared to banks. Banks are great interest rate plays because people don't understand banks make money off of higher interest rates. So higher interest rates, banks are going to make a lot of money. Now, a lot of industry, especially the technology industry, they get hurt off of higher interest rates. Because again, you got to realize that a lot of establishments, a lot of entities, they're leveraged. They're not bought cash, they're leveraged. And they have a lot of loans. And if the interest rate on the loans go higher, it's affecting their bottom dollar. That's what's essentially happening right now. Now, if I'm going to buy, rule number one, I'm going to buy in increments. If I'm going to buy $5,000 worth of stocks right now and I'm not in the market, this is the example of an individual that's not in the market. I might spend $1,500 this month, $1,000 next month, and in March, I'm going to spend another, let's say, for example, $2,500 to average out my prices throughout some of the stocks that I'm buying. Now, some of you may say, well, what will be the best stocks to buy? This is a very hard question to answer because it's based on your outlook. How far are you willing to hold? Where do you feel the world is going? I'm a big investor in EV. I'm a big investor in artificial intelligence, tickers such as AI, which was at 170, which is now at $25. Ticker FSRX. People, you got certain stocks. Let's not even talk about ticker MVIS Microvision. This stock was at like $29 and just dropped to $2.60. Microvision, which is the technology that's going to be probably in every autonomous vehicle, that's pretty much giving the vehicle the sensors to validate where they actually located. Where's the humans, where's the objects in the road located, which will probably be in every vehicle, is at $2.60. Dynamic Metals, ticker DM. Ticker DM, which is at $3 or $4, which was at way like $25. People, this is the biggest metal company in the world, changing the dynamics of 3D printing, changing the dynamics of the 3D world. It's at $3. Somebody asked a question, what do you think about NIO? The reason I would say for right now, stay away from NIO is because it's, just for some of you that may not know, NIO is an electrical car company located in China. I made a lot of wealth off NIO. I bought it when it was $2 or $1.50. I had like maybe 9,000 shares. And I made some good money off NIO. And the problem with NIO, it's falling into another reason why the market is down. Chinese is regulating a lot of different stocks. And that's why you have NIO down, Alibaba, which is a great stock to invest into if I were you. Not financial advice, just educational information. NIO, I would not invest into right now because it's falling under China. China right now is going through a lot of restructurings, they're restructuring a lot of regulation, a lot of laws in regards to companies that's invested overseas into domestic countries such as us. So NIO, to me, I would not play at this current moment. But if you're talking, I see you put Lucid. Lucid is a great company. Remember, that CEO, Lucid, worked side by side with Elon Musk. He knows the ins and outs. His cars will be the next big wave. But again, if I were you and I could give my opinion, I would rather buy Ford at $20. The reason I'm telling you guys Ford is a better play, not only do Ford pay dividends, so while you wait for the stock to go up, you're getting paid every 3 months. Ford is priced in the next 3 to 4 years to be at $80 to $100. Ford has a very different dynamic than a lot of these EV companies. A lot of these EV companies, the reason that they tanked, even if they were domestic or international, they didn't have any sales. It was all based on projected sales. Now, the big difference with Ford is Ford has real sales, real consumers, real individuals who have booked the F-150 truck and is willing and is 100% already fully contractually agreed to buying the truck. They have real numbers that could back up why and how they're going to make the money and how they feel they're projected to make the amount of money they're going to make in the future. Very different from a lot of these EV stocks. Tonight, what we're having is just for people that's tuning in, we're having a conversation on the stock market. You know, what stock should you play? How should you play the market? I want to talk a little bit about, if you guys have any questions on any stock that you may have, feel free. I brought my laptop to be able to open up on certain stocks that some of you are probably trading. A lot of people have been asking me about options. When you're buying options, you're pretty much buying the contract of the stock. In the example of the individual who asked about NEO, let's say the stock is at $30. The option is probably at $3. Okay. The problem with options is they have expiration dates, and it has to reach a certain price, which is called a strike price. And the problem with this is that we don't know how volatile this market's going to be for the next 2 to 5 months. I think it's going to be volatile for at least till August. And imagine you betted that in 1 month it's going to reach a certain price. You probably bought a call. Do you understand, based on this downward direction that it's continuously doing, we could have a recession in the stock market. We could have a real correction, which could completely financially wipe you out if you're buying options. Again, this is just educational information, and this is my perspective. In my world, I am not buying any options right now. I don't care if it's a put, which is by theory going down. I am not buying any options. I'm not shorting any stock. Shorting just simply means you're betting the stock will go down. For the people who are probably in short positions from maybe 5 months ago and they stayed in that short position, they made a lot of money. Imagine people who shorted, let's say, for example, AMC at $68. Imagine a person who shorted Peloton at $155 or $165. Peloton was at $155, now it's at $26. Do you understand how much millions they made? A lot of people who really felt AMC was going to go to $100, $60, $80. People, AMC is in so much debt. This is why I say when there was so much hype behind AMC and GameStop, people, do you see GameStop? GameStop is back to almost $100. And it's not done yet. Remember, GameStop was at $430, $500. GameStop is back to $100. I still believe it has way more downturn to go. Even though they're trying to state now it's about to be this whole NFT marketplace, meaning you could buy non-fungible tokens through GameStop. That hasn't happened yet. That technology will take a lot of time to happen. People, I want you guys to know, being in the stock market the last 10 years of my life and making a lot of money. And when I say a lot of money, it's subjective based on each person. I'm not here to brag to anybody. But again, you know, I feel if you're making $2 to $500,000 a year behind a cell phone clicking buttons, that's a lot of money pretty much. I can't say doing nothing because there's strategy that goes with it. Last year was probably my worst year, and I probably made close to between like 2-3 accounts, maybe like I posted it maybe like 300,000, and my other 2 accounts maybe like 160, 150. And that was a bad year. So now the question is, you got to really look at this, guys. A lot of you have left your money in the bank for a lot of years. All your life, some of you have left a lot of money in the bank. What have these banks ever given you? Really think about that for a moment. You leave 10, 20, 30, 50, or $100,000 in the bank. How much money does the bank give you? Less than 1%, which is trash. With the market being as far down as it is today in the stock market and even crypto, but I'm focusing only on the stock market. That's where I've mastered. It would be ideal. It would be something to look into. This is just educational information, not telling you what to do. Some of these stocks are down 90%. F-Cell, Plug Power, Peloton, Nakila, People, Alibaba, People, Beyond Meat. Beyond Meat, ticker BYND, was at $290. The stock is at $60. People, Shopify was at $1,200, $1,300. Now at like $900, $800. I don't like stocks that expensive. Now, one stock I will buy, if it falls where I want it to fall, if Tesla goes to $600, I'm dropping $50,000 on Tesla. I'm dropping that because we all know. Anybody that was in my chat room know Tesla was at what? $500, $400. I told everybody just wait. People, patience is key. I could never forget, I was in certain Clubhouse rooms and people telling me, oh no, Tesla's a dumb idea, don't buy it. I bought from 500-600 and just held. Yeah, I held for maybe 9 months a year, and guess what? Tesla went all the way to $1,200. The problem with a lot of us, we want to see long-term wealth, but we only want to invest short-term. That's not how wealth works. For a lot of you that want to see $500,000 a year trading stocks, $250,000, $100,000 a year, you have to be willing to hold. You have to be willing to hold. Shouts out to Pearl, yes, security, what's popping, Rohan? And Rohan made some great money in the market. He was in my chat room to build. A lot of people that's in my chat room it came on this live. Look, they're on this live right now. People, for a lot of you that made some good money, a lot of good money, people, when the market is up, you cannot deny the money is crazy that you make. Imagine there's days you're making $15,000 in one day. You're making $10,000 in one day, $5,000 in 1 hour and 30 minutes. Why some people have to go to work all month to make $10,000. It's crazy. But again, right now is not that type of market. Right now is a market where you're looking for deals. You're buying in increments. Maybe buy this month. If you're going to spend $5,000, buy $1,500 this month. Buy maybe $1,000 next month. We know interest rates are going up by March 15, 16. Buy the remainder. So now you averaged out your price. And don't just buy one stock. Buy in different sectors. Retail, okay, airlines, bank, clean energy, okay, electrical vehicle, charging stations of electrical vehicle, artificial intelligence. These are great sectors to put your money in. So I'm going to talk about a couple stocks I definitely witnessed. I'll be here all night if I could definitely tell you every single stock. Let's first talk about Hertz, okay? Hertz is currently at $18. I put an alert if Hertz goes to $12, that's a buy, okay? This is just educational information. It's not financial advice. I'm a big fan of Hertz. People, you got to understand, Hertz, when you look at ticker CAR, which is Budget Avis, they go hand in hand if you really think about it. The world of renting cars is big business right now, especially the people who are flying across the world. At the end of the day, like I said in the beginning of this video, COVID is not going away, okay? Just get used to it. Eventually, you're probably going to take a shot and you'll be all right. That's just what it is. Or you're going to probably drink ginger and all different natural products and you'll be all right. Build your immune system, eat oranges and grapefruits all night long. You'll be perfectly fine. That's just what this is. Now, TV is trying to scare us all. We get that. But Hertz is a stock I'm definitely interested in if it goes below $12. Ticker MVIS. I just bought maybe $4,000 worth yesterday of ticker MVIS at $2.60. I'm holding that for 5 years. Ticker RIDE. I averaged down. I was in that stock at $18. The stock is at $2.50. It's an electrical vehicle stock located in Ohio, Lordstown Motor. The stock is at a very low price, but if you cannot hold at least 5 to 7 years or at least 3 to 6 years, do not put yourself in that particular situation. I'm going to tell you why. The problem with Lordstown Motors, which is ticker RIDE, again, their production facility is not even done yet. So you got to understand it should be done by July or August this year. That means by next year, the cars should be on the road. So for a lot of you that's going to jump into any of the stocks that I'm talking about, you would be hurting yourself if you cannot hold for minimum 2 to 3 years. You'll be hurting yourself. So some of the stocks I'm talking about, I believe that you have to have at least a 3 to 5 year holding period. And I'm going to say this again. At the end of the day, the bank could hold your money. You're getting nothing. Why not put it into some of these stocks that's down 80%, that have value, that have a lot of technology, where the world is going? That's the future of where we're at today. I want to talk also about Roblox. People, Roblox is the metaverse. It's great. People, this is one of the biggest companies that could be in the metaverse. Roblox was at $114, currently at maybe $64. Again, some of you may feel $64 is pretty pricey. I think buying the stock, if it continuously tanks and goes to $40, that is a great buy at $40. At 68, I'm not buying too many shares because I have not seen proper earnings on this company. I need to see more earnings to really see the direction, especially as COVID readjusts. Because again, you guys got to realize Roblox is a big metaverse play. For a lot of you that's into crypto, this whole sandbox world, you might as well compare it to a certain degree of Roblox, okay? Wow. Ticker SPC. One of my favorite stocks, and anybody who knows me, I'm so invested into Richard Branson space stock. Like I think I have like $90,000 invested into that one stock. And I'm in the stock at $35. The stock is at $8.50. People, do you understand? We are going to the moon. It's happening. There will be a time and place where people are going to say, I'm going on vacation to Pluto. I'm going on vacation to certain parts of the world, Mercury, whatever the case may be. It's happening. It's going to happen. The stock is at $8.50. Normally the stock is at $65. Here's the crazy part. There's no sales. This is all based on anticipation, booked and reserved seats. Just so some of you can understand, the seats to book a seat on space is costing you roughly $500,000. Okay, and there's many celebrities that have booked seats to go to orbit. Space Galactic is a big play. But if you cannot hold for 35 years, you're lying to yourself. Let's say this again. Disclaimer. I'm in the stock at $35. You're going to buy the stock currently right now. It's at $8.50. Even if it goes to $5, I wouldn't even buy anymore. At $8.50, that's a steal. A steal. AMC, GameStop, these type of BlackBerry, I'm not really a fan of the whole meme stocks, so I would stay away because those stocks really have no value. It's all based on a hype, a whole bunch of Reddit guys, and a whole bunch of anticipation. And again, it was based on our last president, so there's a lot of hype that was there. But I think when you talk about real strong and stable stocks, I will not play any of the whole momentum meme stocks like I would say Bed Bath and Beyond, BlackBerry, GameStop, AMC. Unless they go to maybe 90% below from where they're at right now, those stocks are not really stable to me, my personal opinion. I'm not playing any of those. Beyond Meat, I like the fact it's at 61. I feel it still has a strong pullback to go maybe to $30. I feel it's going to drop another 50%. There's a lot of weaknesses there, but there's a lot of value there at the same time. This company has a lot of endorsements. They have a lot of endorsements. But again, just because something is plant-based, that does not mean it's healthy for you. It's just a plant-based company, meaning it's giving you the substitution of real meat, and it's full of sodium, people. If you don't know, now you know. How plant-based products have a lot of sodium. They are not healthier options. They're just a option other than meat. A lot of people need to clarify that. A lot of people are asking me, I had a DM about this particular question. How do you feel about crypto-related stocks such as GBTC, such as COIN, which is Coinbase, such as CAN, RIOT? These are all stocks that move based on Bitcoin. Right now, what really scared me about that particular sector, crypto market has just lost $130 billion of market cap value in one day. That is so dangerous to me. In one day, for you to lose $130 billion worth of market cap in one day. Again, we all know cryptos, and when I say crypto, Bitcoin and many other cryptos, they're very volatile. Bitcoin being at 4,000, 36,000, this is not new. It was there a couple months back. It actually went down to maybe 28.5. So the question is, can it actually go below 28.5 and probably fall to 20 or 15? We got to really pay attention to see how the next 2 months roll, because again, I don't have any Bitcoin. I have a lot of other cryptos such as Cardano. I have Solana. I actually have a lot of XRP too. I have Comi, which is ECOMI. I have I have Mana, MANA. I have Sandbox. I have a lot of different cryptos, but I don't buy expensive cryptos because I feel these leaders such as Bitcoin and Ethereum, when they fall, they're usually great opportunities. If I were you, my personal opinion, if Bitcoin went down to maybe $1,000 or $500, and there was an option of buying Bitcoin or Ethereum, I'd rather just take Ethereum. That's just my personal opinion because majority of these cryptos, they work off of Ethereum. Ethereum is very powerful. And let's be honest, unless you have a certain amount of wealth, it's going to cost you a lot of money to have a lot of Bitcoin, unless it falls to maybe $5,000 or $10,000. You know what I mean? But don't get me wrong. Evans, you're right. If Bitcoin went to maybe, I don't know, $10,000, I would probably buy maybe 4 or 5 Bitcoins. You know what I mean? But at this $36,000 price range, I'm still not satisfied. I feel it needs to drop below 20. That's just my personal opinion. Will it do it? I don't know. But again, we know for sure the crypto market can drop to numbers that we could never think of. People, this thing is very volatile. Crypto, I remember Bitcoin was at $68,000, then just dropped to $28,500. That's crazy. That's almost literally a 70% drop. And then at the end of the day, you're right. Ethereum does have a better blockchain. So to me, when you're looking at the fact, if I had to buy, if Ethereum falls to, I don't know, $500, $1,000, or $200, some crazy number like that, I'd rather buy Ethereum. Because I know at the end of the day, everything falls on that. And then when you even look at BNB, BNB is a great coin to buy too, which is at $300. Can it go to 100? Can it go to 80? Can it go to 50? People, really think about what you're doing strategically if you're going to play some of these markets as the market is tanking. With crypto market, I don't think it's a good time to buy. That's just my personal opinion. I wouldn't buy certain cryptos unless they're super cheap. I'm not buying certain cryptos right now. I want a disastrous drop. I want something where people are not even talking about Bitcoin no more. Everybody's scared. Oh my God, did you see Bitcoin hit? That's when I want it. I want it when people are running away from Bitcoin. That's when I'll probably take a bite out of Bitcoin. You know what? Damn, Bitcoin at 15,000. Okay. You know what? Let me grab Bitcoin. But for right now, to answer the question, a lot of people ask, when it comes to the Bitcoin-related stocks, do you think it's a good buy right now? I feel no. I feel Bitcoin-related stocks such as Coinbase, GBTC, RIOT, CAN, and many others, I feel they have another maybe 30% drop to go. I would wait a little bit more and see how far down a lot of these cryptos can go. I feel like right now, crypto market has a lot more dropping to do. I would not buy any crypto-related stock at this moment. That's just my personal opinion. Even though I'm in a particular, I'm in a stock that I'm in a stock ticker, what is it, CAN, and I'm down like $38,000 from that stock. And the technology behind it, I mean, it's going to take years for it to develop. So it forces me to go long, super long with that stock. We're talking maybe 5 to 10 years. You know what I'm saying? But again, I'm not going to take a $38,000 loss. I just sit in the shit, and it is what it is. Also, yeah, Myra is another crypto play. A lot of these stocks we're talking about right now, these stocks move off the crypto world. Now, another question somebody asked me, how do you feel about index stocks versus, I don't know, like a normal stock, right? Here's my thing, right? If you're 30, you're young, 40, and you're in your young 40s, you're in your 20s. I was watching a video the other day. There was an individual promoting index stocks. I realize I get it. Not everybody's investing with the same amount of money. But to me, if you have a child or if it's just you yourself, whatever the case may be, and you're young, you're in your 20s, why would I have some of these super expensive stocks when I could play a stock that's so cheap and 5 to 10 years later, it probably went to maybe 30 times the price it's currently at? People, I'm going to give you guys an example. 10 years ago, maybe 9 years ago, I had AMD when it was at $1. I held for 3 years. AMD never moved from $1 to $2.50, from $1 to $2, $3. It never moved. It took AMD 10 years with proper management, new CEO. The stock was at $150. If I would have held at that moment of my life, again, I didn't have the discipline that I have now. I would have made maybe like $40 million off of just AMD. People, you got to understand, long term is how you win this game. So when I hear people saying, oh, they're young, 30, 20, buying index stocks, people, you're young, take risk. You have to have aggressive stocks when you're in your 20s. When you're in your 30s, aggressive stock that has a lot of upside potential, where the future is going. You should be in maybe some rides, some tequilas, like Robinhood at $12, people. Robinhood is at 12, it was just at 68. Many of you probably use Robinhood. Why would I not be in Robinhood if it hits maybe $8? That's crazy. That's a stock you would be in. They don't pay dividends. Who cares about the dividends? But I know long term, first of all, this thing was at $68. Okay? Now it's at 12. If it goes to 7 or 5, come on. Robinhood at $5. Ticker HOOD at 5. Man, I'm dumping. I already know 3 years later I'm good. I might make $500,000 off Robinhood stock. People, just like what happened when I'm saying this, people didn't believe when I said about Snapchat. What happened when Snapchat went public? Boom, Snapchat went public, boom, $39. Boom, tanked all the way to $5. A lot of people say, oh, Bobby, just like maybe 4 years ago, 5 years ago, people not really using Snapchat. I don't know if you should buy at 5. I dumped $20,000 at 5. Boom, made about $70, $70,000 3 years later. People, you buy low when there's an opportunity. You sell high when the stock goes up like crazy and get out. To me, I'm looking at Robinhood right now, like this is gold. If this thing hits $5, phew, let's go. Look at the competitors of Robinhood, people. Charles Schwab, E-Trade, Fidelity. Look at their prices. Look at Robinhood, who carries a big market cap also. Not the biggest, Charles Schwab does. But at the end of the day, a lot of people use Robinhoods. People, one of the things I want to tell you when you're investing, invest into things you understand. Invest into things that make sense to you. Invest into things you probably use. It's easier for you to invest because you've used the product. You're on the app. Some of you have Robinhood. So it should make a lot of sense. Like, wow, it's at 12, it was at 60. Wow, that's a $48 difference. I wonder, can it hit $8? If it hits $8, or even it being at 12, if it goes to $24, you just doubled your money. But if it hit $5, it hit $10. If it hits $5 and it goes back to 10, you doubled. But that's not even the worst part. When it goes back to the 60, after it starts proving itself that it's structured better, it has a customer service base now, because that's the problem with Robinhood. Once they fix all these things, people, yeah, you guys understand the owner of Robinhood is a young individual. Just like, again, he's rolling out different crypto wallets. People, y'all understand what's about to happen to Robinhood? It's at $12. That's a play. But you know what somebody else will tell you? Oh, go buy Amazon. Amazon at $2,800, they're going to tell you to go buy? When you're going to have probably, what, 1 share, 2 shares? People, really think about it. Why would I go buy Amazon at $2,800? It makes no sense. And I see it a lot on social media. People are giving such bad advice. Oh, what stock should you buy? Go buy an index. An index? What stock should you buy? Go buy Microsoft. That expensive stock. First question is, what's your age? That's the first question I like to ask my clients. Second, are you willing to hold for 5 to 7 years? That's a real question. And if you're young, you're in your 20s, your 30s, early 40s, go aggressive. Go with some stocks that have a lot of upside potential and hold your composure and hold for 5 years, 7 years. You're going to make a lot of money. A lot of you just want to see short-term investing. Short-term investing is not how you win. For any of you that got through last year, if you could get through this year, maybe 2 to 3 more years, do you understand? Most likely you won. While the next person probably sold all their stocks. Do you understand? When you look at crypto, in one day, $130 billion worth of value was lost. What that says is a lot of people sold. What that tells me is that market, that industry has a lot of short-term investors. People got so scared within one day of the market going down 50%, they sold. I'm out. I guarantee this is probably a lot of Shiba holders, Doge holders. And what's crazy, some people only got like $100 invested. They sold. People, $100. You done lost $100 a lot of different ways. Now all of a sudden you can't hold 100 for 5 years. You can't hold 100 for 4 years. At the end of the day, people, if you want to see long-term growth, you got to be willing to invest long-term. What's another good stock? Oh, Pinterest at $30. People, Pinterest was at maybe like $85 or $100. Stock is at $30. one of the biggest companies when it comes to marketing. Don't get me wrong. Marketing has readjusted stocks like Snapchat, which I'm a super fan of, Pinterest, and even Facebook, because now they can't market the way they need to due to privacy laws. That's another reason why a lot of stocks are down in the marketing industry. Somebody got a question. Paul was popping. A good question. Do you invest? People who don't invest have the more. Oh, yeah. Facts. It's very true. A lot of people who are not invested love to give their opinion. But when you ask how much money you got in the market, I have nothing. Or I got $500. If you got $500 or $1,000 in the market, you should not be giving anybody advice. That's not even enough to really have a say. You don't know what it feels to be down. Right now, I'm down like maybe $400,000, $500,000. You don't know what it feels being down $500,000. You don't know what that feels like. And until you get past being down maybe even $5,000, $20,000, you're not a real investor. You have to be willing to ride this emotional wave if you want to see real wealth. For a lot of you that's in the stock market, I've been in this game for 10 years, and I learned a lot. When it's down, just hold your composure. That's why I love stocks instead of options. No matter, the stock could have been $20. It go down to $1. Hypothetically, I still own the same amount of shares. It's not going anywhere. All I have to do is wait for the stock to come back up. Patience and self-discipline. That's all it takes. The crypto market cap is 1.9 trillion. Only it is a baby compared to the stock market. Crypto has a lot of room to grow. Oh, for sure. But don't get me wrong. You know what I feel too is that people who are invested into the crypto market, you're invested into a world where technology is very new. There's a lot of growth that's going to continuously happen. There's also a lot of growth opportunities for you to make a lot of money long term if you could, again, understand, do some due diligence, watch some YouTube videos, do some Google, and really understand what you're invested into. That's why I'm invested into certain cryptos like Solana, Cardano, XRP, Ethereum, and I'm trying to buy some more Ethereum. And if it could hit $1,500, I put if it hits 1,000, I put my alert on. Because again, people, you got to understand this is the future. Metaverse is the truth. So stock cryptos like Sandbox, the real estate world of digital, which is of course Main. People, this is the future. You have to see things. See, a lot of you don't look at life the way I see it, but I get it. A lot of us would complain like, okay, Amazon is at, what was that, like $3,600? That was 22 years for it to get there. Some of you invested into a stock 2 years, you're already selling. Makes no sense. Really think about that. Amazon took 26 years to get to $3,500. Some of you invested into the stock market for 2 years. You're already scared. You're already selling. You're devaluing yourself. People, this is your wealth. Now, if you want to work for the rest of your life, that's up to you. But people, if you're trying to win, right now, there's a great opportunity in the stock market if you're playing correct. I'm not saying go dump all your money, but just take a look at some of the stocks I talked about tonight. There's a lot of great opportunities. And tomorrow's going to be a big day. At 2 o'clock, Jerome Powell, our federal chairman of the United States, is speaking. The market is about to tank as he hits the podium. And again, tomorrow, Tesla has earnings after 4 p.m. Eastern time. That is really going to give us a good direction on where this market is going to go. But we also don't know what's going to happen next month. Or what's going to happen when the interest rate increase. That's why I'm like, especially with the first increase. That's why I'm like, for a lot of you right now, buy in increments. Don't just buy all at once. You're going to hurt yourself. And if you're not willing to go long term, if I was you, just to give you some educational information, long term meaning at least 3 to 5 years, don't put yourself in the market. Because don't ever put money, my other opinion to you, don't put money you need next month. Don't put money in the market you need next week. Don't put money you need next 5 months, especially in this type of market. If you cannot hold for at least minimum 2 to 3 years, don't put your money in the market. Shout out to anybody that's on this live, man. Anybody got any questions for me? A lot of you have been asking too about airline stocks. Airline stocks are getting hammered for a lot of reasons. One is remember, a lot of people took a lot of debt when COVID happened. So debt is one of the issues why a lot of companies are hurting. 2, as interest rates increase, that causes a lot of problems. Remember, a lot of these companies are based on leverage. They don't own everything. There's a lot of borrowing funds that they have. As interest rates increase, it's hurting their bottom dollar. So airlines are going to get hurt badly, people. It's imperative to understand what's going on. So again, there's a lot of great opportunities in the stock market to make a lot of money, but can you hold 3 to 5 years? Does anybody have any questions for me before I get off this live and enjoy my night? But people, I want you to know, man, I'm here to really just give you guys the honest truth about wealth. Let me see, is there any stock I didn't look at? You know what I did see also? Ticker JMIA is like the Amazon of China. Pay attention to that stock. Ticker CPNG, which is Coupang, which is like pretty much the Amazon of North Korea or South Korea or Korea period. Pay attention to that stock. Ticker CPNG. It's at a very, very appealing price. Can you hold? People, this company ships things this in 7 hours compared to Amazon in 1 day. Totally different ball game. Evans has a question. Let me see. Evans has a question. Let me see where your question is, Evans. Evans, can you retype the question? I have a ticker on the OTC market. Okay. ILUS. Can I get your opinion on that? Okay. ILUS. Let me see. ILUS. Somebody got a question on ILUS. Let's see what we got. Let's see what the stock is about. Give me 1 second. Let me kind of just... ILUS. Okay, ILUS International. Let's see what we got. 30-cent stock. Okay. Volume 12. 30-cent stock, volume 12 million. The highest was what? 0.002. The highest was what? Sorry, 51 cents. The lowest is 0.002. And let me go to their financials. And then I'm also see something else before I even continue. Okay. I'm looking at, let me pull up the data. Okay. Wow. Wow, this is a very dangerous stock. 1 second. I don't like to buy penny stocks because they're so risky. But I'm going to answer your question. Let me kind of just give me 1 second. Well, my favorite crypto by far is none other except Ethereum. Number one. No favorite crypto hands down. Ethereum and Solana. And also, if you ask me my third favorite, which I have a lot of money in, people, VeChain. Oh my God. VeChain is the truth. Okay, hold on 1 second. You know, what's funny about this particular, wow. For the person that asked about ticker ILUS, that's a real speculative stock. You could lose your skin on that. I mean, operating expenses is negative. EBIT, earnings before interest and taxes, is negative 200,000. Free cash flow is negative. Like, meaning free cash flow, there's no money just floating to be able to just make an investment to something else. Goodwill, of course, none. They didn't buy any companies. That's what goodwill is. This company really has real bad financials, man. Companies like this is why I say it takes time. And to me, if you're buying companies like this, let's say you put $300 in a company like this, you have to be willing to hold for like 10 years, man, or for a big break to come through the company. And I'm gonna be honest, man, these stocks are very risky unless you have a company backing it. Let's say, for example, Microsoft is an investor in that particular company. Even when I'm looking at holders, and let's see 1 second. Let me see if there's any holders in this particular company. Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to see if there's any reputable companies even holding the shares of this company. I would definitely not buy that stock. You only have one company holding the stock, which is Bell Ganner Incorporated. Company has negative financials, negative free cash flow, no operating income. The company is a very small market cap company. The company is only worth, 1 second. Wow. You could really lose some skin. I would not recommend that stock. The company is only worth $2 million. In the stock market world, I'm a big fan of buying multi-billion-dollar companies, stocks that have market caps of $1 billion, $2 billion, or close to $1 billion, or at least $500 million if they have great technology and great financials. When you're playing with stocks that's in the $2 million, that's pretty small, and you could really hurt yourself. These companies can go out of business anytime. I would not recommend these type of stocks. I'm not a fan of penny stocks. By definition, a penny stock is anything less than $5. But to me, I like to call this a super penny. It's less than like 40 cents. It's appealing by the eye because it's so cheap, but there's nothing behind it. No investors, no financials, no holders, meaning there's no big companies like BlackRock or anybody holding the stock. There's nothing to validate why would a person actually get into this particular stock. So you are taking 100% risk with your money. And to me, if you're going to take such a risky stock, you invest what you're comfortable losing. If you feel like, okay, at the end of the day, I'm willing to lose $300, throw 300 in there. You lose it, who cares? At the end of the day, it's only $300. Any startups in AI? I wouldn't go with any startups. That's a great question. The startups that I wouldn't say any startups. I would probably go with ticker AI. AI is a great company. I'm a big fan of ticker AI. Stock was at 157 or something like that. Stock's currently at 25. Super fan of that company there. I like what they're doing. I like how they're reshaping the artificial intelligence world. CEO really has a great background. I researched him a lot on LinkedIn and many other platforms. I'm a super fan of ticker AI. Any questions you guys have for me when it comes to, of course, the stock market? All right. For some reason, Evans, I don't see your question. If you did post it, people, I want you to know I answered a lot of your questions. If you had any questions, I spoke about why is the stock market where it's at, some of my stock plays. If you want to book a session, feel free to always go to mentorme.com. You could always book a session, a webinar session with me, and really just get a one-on-one personal experience with me. It's always imperative too, if you're new to the trading, you could always invest in my pre-recorded video, which I have on my website, Mentourme. Shout out to everybody that follows me on IG and that's constantly getting great information of wealth to win. I want you guys to just financially win. I'm also going to talk about different type of forms of investing. And okay, hold on. I just did. I don't know. For some reason, Evans, I'm not seeing your question. Are you putting it in the comments? How come I'm not seeing your question? I mean, I'm seeing everybody else's question. Like, I see that you just put the text, I just did, but I don't see the question. And I would love to answer whatever question you have about the stock market. I pretty much can answer any question there is. I've been in the stock market for years. I'm very familiar with a lot of different dynamics of the stock market. And I'm not going to sit on any live and give you guys bullshit, which a lot of people do. Oh, all you got to do is this and that. That's a baloney. People, you want to win, you got to really play this game. This is your boy Bobby from Mentourme.com. I want you guys to have a great night. I will be going, of course, live tomorrow to talk about different things. People, appreciate the love, share, subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, subscribe to my podcast. Every Thursday night, I do a relationship talk with one of my boys. He's amazing in the world of relationships, business and personal relationships. And every Tuesday night and different days of the week, I'm always talking about financial literacy, how to gain wealth, my mistakes, my experiences. How did I go from $50,000 a year to $500,000 a year? And how can you get there too? And where am I going in life? As you guys know, my next biggest play is to take, of course, a lot of the money I'm making in the stock market in the next couple of years. And my goal is to simply just buy an apartment complex. That's the goal, to have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 people paying me rent. That's the goal. At that point, people, I'm retired. I just want to do shows and go around the country just doing shows and educating people on how to fucking make money. That's it. And without the bullshit. I hate when people are giving like lies on lives and stuff like that. Like, let's talk about the facts. How can people make money? What are things they should do? What are things they shouldn't do? That's what separates me from the rest. If I'm talking about the stock market, I have like almost $1 million invested. This is not joke money. This is not fairy tale to make myself sound good. I'm really invested into this world. I've been doing it 10 years and I'm holding long term for another 5-7 years, man. This is your boy Bobby from Mentourme.com. Oh, hold on. The question is finally coming in. He said, if he have a Bitcoin, the individual asked, do I have Bitcoin? I don't have Bitcoin. I have a lot of other cryptocurrencies such as Ethereum, Cardano, ticker, COS, Comey, Mana. I have Gala, REQ. I have like 40 different cryptos. I'm heavily invested into crypto. Like, I can't say as heavy as I'm in the stock market, maybe like 60, 70,000 I got in crypto. But to me, if Bitcoin, I'm willing to buy Bitcoin if it goes down to maybe, I don't know, like 10,000, something like that. I'm willing to buy a share of it. But I'd rather buy, if it goes that far down, I'd rather buy Cardano and Ethereum. I feel those are going to be better plays to me. And I'm getting more bang for my buck buying those particular cryptos than actually buying Bitcoin. But for a lot of you who have a lot of your money in the bank, people, you got to learn investing is new saving. If you're not investing in people, you're not going to win. This life is very expensive, like I spoke about in my video earlier this morning. You got to start investing into something. And tonight I thought I'd share a lot of great gems for you guys to put yourself in a position to really win in the next 3 to 5 years. Because if not, people, how do you retire? Or do you keep working until you're 59 like the world wants you to? Why not retire early and live your best life? Mentourme.com, man. It's your boy Bobby from Mentourme. May God bless. Have a great night.